Hey guys, UnoPro here, back with another S-Rank gameplay video, and today I think you guys are going to be very excited for this one. We are playing one-man army Reva. Technically it's not really one-man army, but it's very close to it. A very fun archetype, and it has been surprisingly good. We played it for about 10 hours on stream yesterday. We went, as you can see, 44 and 21, and that's actually gone down a fair bit. We were actually at about a 75% win rate, even like 40 games in still. So it was really good. We got to number 3 with it. We did fall down a little bit at the end, so we're like rank 18 or something at the moment. But that was literally just from going like 6 and 4 over the last 10 games, because you lose ranks really fast at S rank. But for the most part, we've been crushing it. I mean, we still have basically a 70% win rate, but we're around 75%. So this is a deck I just came up with. We tested it all yesterday and made some changes. So let's go over it. So first of all, we're playing 3 Crescent Spear, 3 Mask of Shadows, 3 Bangle, and 3 Cyclone Mask. Now, I think it's really good to run all 3 of these. I think I tried other numbers, but I'm really just convinced you want all of them. Our only plays going first on turn 1 are Mask of Shadows and Crescent Spear, so you definitely want to run 6 of these. And you really need to find your Cyclones and your Bangles as well. I think this is pretty set. I mean, some people talked about playing less Spears and stuff, but Spear has been an all-star in this deck. It's surprisingly good. Bangle is good, even just as a proactive play, do nothing with it. It's a very creative card, and it's definitely, I think you just definitely need 12 artifacts. So, we actually run 6 minions. Now, Silhouette Tracer is a pretty obvious one. We're playing with our general. We want to get away from him and hit him from range with Cyclone. Now, Key Beholder is the all-star of this deck, and it seems like a very strange choice. You know, this is your only minion, but it obviously makes a lot of sense. It keeps things away from your general. It's ranged as well. You want to be playing with your general at ranged, so you have good options to play this at ranged. And stopping enemy movements is really good, or sometimes just as a 3-2. It gives us a couple of proactive plays in the deck. It is a little unfortunate that as 3 mana, because you want to be doing Cyclone Masks and stuff like that, but this card has been super good. I really was just shocked how good this was. I think if when I made this deck, I didn't have this idea to put Key Beholder in the deck, I probably would have just given up on it, because I don't think this deck would be very good without Key Beholder. It is honestly just that good. So the other interesting choices are 3 Ghost Lightning. This card has been really good with our Crescent Spears. We often even have multiples. Helps us clear the board in conjunction with Cyclone Mask. We're surprisingly good. Definitely want the 3. Go Tatsu, same kind of thing. It's been really good. 1 mana spells are really important in the deck. The 2 mana spells and the 3 mana spells, like Phoenix Fire and Thunder Bomb, Twin Strike, they're a lot less good. And I'll go into that more when we get in the gameplay, but it mainly comes down to on turn 4, you want to be playing a 3 mana artifact or Key Beholder plus a 1-drop to help clear the board. But there's some very important play patterns with this deck and ways of understanding the deck that I think you really need to get. And we came to these conclusions by playing a just ridiculous amount yesterday. The other spell choices, so 2 Mist Walking, I can see this as a 3, it has been pretty good, but it does do nothing by itself. I think 2 is pretty fine, though I definitely was happy with the 2. Saber Spine Seal 2, again, doesn't do much by itself, but it's great as a combo card. Occasionally has some utility killing a minion, but mainly just to burst them out. Often is just 2 mana 6 damage once you have the Bangle going. 2 Bear Seals. Bear Seal's probably been actually one of the worst cards in the deck. I think it is a necessary evil, but a lot of the time we just want to be running away from them anyway. I could see another Mist Walking over a Bear Seal, and they do actually function similarly, but I think 2 Bear Seals pretty fine. When you really need it, it's quite good. 2 Thunder Bomb, again, this is actually one of the better cards in the deck. I've been quite surprised. With Crescent Spear, this card just gets insane, and it's really good. Like Thunder Bomb, Ghost Lightning can often clear the board, push some damage, and we really want cards that can kind of help us clear the board once we have our artifacts. That's really what we want our spells to be doing. We don't really want them necessarily to even clear by themselves. We don't need that. We just need them to clear in conjunction with the artifacts. Because a massive play pattern of this deck is falling a little bit behind, equipping your artifacts, and then you have 1 swing turn where you clear the board and you still have your artifacts equipped, and then you're suddenly miles and miles ahead. 2 Twin Strike can be a bit clunky, but it's very good a lot of the time, and it also cycles, which is very relevant in this deck. We're not running any strict card draw. We were running Heaven's Eclipse, but we found we just wanted the spiral techniques, which I'm getting to now. So this was originally 2 Heaven's Eclipse, and there were some other slots. We changed it to 1 Heaven's Eclipse and a spiral, and then I found that when I was playing Heaven's Eclipse, I kind of just wanted to draw in a spiral. So why not just play a spiral? So 2 Spiral has been surprisingly good. With Crescent Spear gets it to 9. And often you can actually burst more because you'll often have a ranged Cyclone Mask. Spiral Technique, 2 of. I'm actually pretty convinced of this. Maybe you could run 1 of, but I really like the 2 of. So that's the deck. I'm pretty happy with the list. I think it's fairly optimized. Obviously, there still could be a lot of room. There's still a few 2 ofs and stuff like that. You could definitely play around. There's definitely a fair bit of room because most Song High spells have potential in this deck. But I do think this is a pretty good version of the deck. There are some really key play patterns that you kind of need to understand with this deck. And I think a lot of the time you make some really unintuitive plays. If you watched my stream yesterday, you would kind of know what I'm talking about. And I think, honestly, one of the better ways to learn this deck is to actually watch me stream the deck. I'm not sure how much of my VODs got muted. Probably a lot of it because I do listen to Spotify. But you really can see some common play patterns. And what I've found with this deck is actually just kind of insane. We were talking about this on stream, and what is so powerful about it is that you can almost always come up with an out to win the game. Even when we get so far behind, our opponent would have Artifact Hate, just amazing starts, stuff like that. I could always, if I actually thought about it and really had to think and I was on point, I could think of a sequence of cards we could draw to win the game in like nearly every situation. And that's just something other decks don't have. A lot of decks, like, once your opponent gets a certain board, say like it's certainly far ahead, there's just nothing you can do, even if you run board clears and stuff. Whereas this deck nearly always has outs. It's just that potentially powerful. And that's something very to consider. You do have to play to your outs. There is some mulliganing stuff we want to do. The first mulligan one that's pretty easy to talk about is when we're going first. So when we start with 2 mana. If you don't have a Crescent Sphere or Mask of Shadows, I'm firmly of the belief that you pretty much have to mulligan twice. Maybe if the rest of your hand is perfect, you can mulligan 1 card and then you have to replace whatever card you draw. But you really want to find Mask or Crescent Spear the next turn because it allows you to Cyclone Mask and hit for 3, and it just develops instead of just floating 2 mana. Now, Phoenix Fire is actually a card I do not rate in the mulligan at all because we want to be developing our artifacts. But I really do rate the 1 mana spells. Now, this is an interesting hand. It's a little awkward because we don't have a Mask or a Crescent Sphere. So we do want to mulligan twice, but I would really like to keep this hand here. I do like to keep the artifacts, and I do like to keep a 1 mana spell because you don't want to go 3 into 3 into 3. You want to go 3 into a 4 by combining this. I think we do have to get rid of this. I could see an argument for keeping the Celerity artifact. I'm not 100% sure. I think I like the Celerity artifact over the Ghost Lightning. We have a little bit more redundancy with stuff like Gotatsu, but I think we do have to mulligan twice, and we do get rewarded for it. That's quite nice. But yeah, you can already see this play pattern. Now we found it again. We do have a lot of redundancy in that kind of way, where we can go 3 into an artifact, or this on 3 into this and this, or this and this, and that cleans up the board while developing our artifacts. A big part of this is you're not often clearing their minions in the first couple turns. Even if you could, and you have a okay clear, I'd much rather just develop an artifact. Like, let's say I had nothing else here, and I had like a Phoenix Fire, I would still probably just equip this. I mean, you could talk about that, but the idea is that you're just equipping artifacts, you're building up a board, and then you're kind of making your play. So here I kind of like the Cyclone Mask, but I also like the Key Beholder. I don't really expect Siphron to be running Bone Swarm, so this isn't getting punished too much. This is a little bit of an interesting choice, because we can either just Cyclone Mask it, do that, and prepare to clear next turn, but if Cyclone Mask... I think I actually do prefer the Cyclone Mask here. Often this is the play first, though. This is a very interesting choice. Not actually too sure. It's a turn before Blood of Air. So we're either replacing it or we're playing it now. Because we don't want to give Blood of Air value. We do a very good job of turning off Blood of Air. And oftentimes a very common theme with this deck is that we just choose not to Heartseeker because we don't want to Blood of Air and then kill one of our artifacts. Okay, so this seems like a pretty easy Cyclone Mask turn, and Heartseeker, I guess. Might get rid of this. It's a little greedy. I mean, we have most of the tools we want, really. We could just keep it. I think we can keep it. And I will keep the Ghost Lightning because we do have the Crescent Sphere. Cleans up quite nicely. Now, this is something that I wanted to... We could play around Blood Teal. I kind of do like playing... I mean, around... I'm not really particularly worried about Bone Swarm, but I don't really see a lot of reason not to just play it there. Gives us options, and often you want to have your ranged minions on the other side of your general, so they have to make a choice which to go for. Now, this is something I really wanted to talk about, and I think playing this deck, understanding the importance of these squares here is really, really important to the deck. Oftentimes, you just want to get as far away. It's very instinctive if you're not going to get surrounded. You want to go into the corner because it's as far as away. But when you have the choice between basically any of these, you really want to go for this one. And the reason that is, it basically gives you the same freedom along this line. It's very, very similar. But a common play pattern is that you jump over the top with the silhouette, and then when you have the Celerity Mask away, you're kind of just getting away pretty guaranteed. So I think that's a very, very important part of the deck. Now, we obviously want to do the Bangle, I think. The question really is, do we clear with the Ghost Lightning? So if we Bangle and go Tatsu, we can just leave this and still get 3 damage in. But if we play the Ghost Lightning, we can get 3 damage in and clear. This is really not doing very much. At the same time, so we definitely want to clear this. I could even see just Ghost Lightning, go Tatsu, hit face twice. I actually think I like that. It's a lot of pressure. Like, Crescent Sphere is just so good in this deck. Yeah. Like, you do need to start hitting face around this turn. Once you have the 3 artifacts, you kind of want to... Around 5 or 6 mana, you kind of want to start getting the face damage in. This 1-2 is really doing nothing. If you could threaten the Mana Tile, I'd be a little bit more worried about it, but even then, it's not too big of an issue. But I think that's good. Like, this does face damage. Gotatsu and Ghost Lightning don't do face damage. So if I can just clear the threats with that. Okay, that's a bit annoying, but it does give us a bit of time. Does he have a Ray here? He doesn't have a Ray, which is that's pretty massive for us. It's hard to see us losing now. I mean, that's a little annoying. Because now our plays aren't great this turn. So we'll play a Heartseeker here. We are going to get the damage in while we can. This doesn't really ever do any more, so it's just 6 damage. And we'll run up this side, obviously, so he can't get an attack on us. It does suck that we can't cycle this, but still a decent spot. The problem is if he has the flying rush thing for 3, that's obviously a very killer combo here. We will lose our artifacts, but we couldn't really play around that. Yeah, there's not really too much we could have done about that. I think we make the best play into that. We just try and push face damage, and we can try and kill him with a Phoenix Fire. So, yeah, okay, so there's a chance he doesn't have it. If he does have it, it's pretty rough. That looks like it there. Yeah. I mean, this is a combo that's pretty good against the deck. Like, it's just kills our artifacts so well. But it's not really something we could have played around, so we just do it. He even kills our Heartseeker. But we actually now have him in Spiral Technique range. We have potentially some play with something like this, though that seems very unlikely. I'll probably get rid of them. Probably get rid of the mask. Guess that's actually a decent draw. This is a little awkward. I think we just do Twin Strike. We should hit this first, because we always want to hit it. And then we have a high chance of hitting this. But otherwise we'll just keep a hold of it, which should shut it down a decent amount. So we're not under actually too much pressure still. Okay, so we did get that. That was just quite nice. Oh, is that actually even nice? Maybe it's bad, actually. Kind of forgot that it respawns on his turn as well. That's fine. I mean, this is actually just pretty legit. This is actually probably still better, because he was going to get them anyway. But this blocks a square. I'm not sure. So we did join to lethal. We actually had some outs. Like we do run the double spiral for stuff like this. We should still be fine. I mean, this was his best case scenario, was doing this into this. That was really his only chance of winning this game. And now, unless he has a heal, he needs, even Healing Mystic doesn't do it. So he needs the Azure Herald, or whatever it's called. Yeah. So we got him with the burn. I mean, we had a lot of outs, and it's very, very likely we actually live another turn. So you actually see, it kind of looks like, you know, we had to top deck a little bit, but we had a lot of outs, and I mean, we killed him. Cyclone Mask was also a replacement for one of these cards here. Alright, so we won the first one. So that would be 45 and 21 with the deck, which is pretty good. Alright. Cool. Yeah, so we did actually hit rank 3 with this deck multiple times. So it's very, very viable. And that 44 and 21 was pretty much exclusively between ranks 3 and 10 in S rank. So you can tell the deck is actually very, very powerful. At least at the moment, we don't know how the meta will turn out. If people start going back to decks that, you know, kind of play a lot of Blood Tears, and Rushars is a card in the meta, that's a bit of an issue. Though we did verse the Improbable Bobber a few times, and he's a good player in S rank, and he had multiple Rushars. But because we were so effective at jumping away from him, we actually won some very, very ridiculous games, even against the Artifact Hate. So I don't think this deck actually does just fall to Artifact Hate. It needs to be Artifact Hate backed up by some pressure, because if you give this deck time, it's really going to hurt you. But yeah, hopefully you can start to, we didn't really see one of the key aspects there, but there's some very, very key play patterns. And that is valuing the 1 mana spells, because you can play them on turn 4 with a 3 mana artifact or key beholder. And then also this idea that you set up a bangle, even if it's not very good, the turn you play it, because you want to have this play pattern where you jump over them and then double run away, and then you just have so much time. So there's no real reason for 2 masks. It's a little greedy. We want to go this into this. I could maybe see an argument for keeping it, but I really want to find Cyclones. I really want to find Bangles. You can't be too greedy with the artifacts like that. So I think Key Beholder against Liner is going to be better than Twin Strike. So we'll just keep that. Key Beholder is quite a nice card, just because it allows you to develop a threat and stall at the same time. And that's the big part of this deck. We just want to be developing threats in the early game. We're not... First couple turns, we very rarely kill their creatures. Even if, like, you know, we could actually run up and kill something, unless it's a really good kill, we often don't do it. Though obviously it's very situational. There is a lot of options with this deck. I mean, that's a little annoying. I'm going to get rid of this. So we're just going to run away and play a Key Beholder on the Lion. So again, you know, we could have tried to do something where I don't know, maybe we didn't have the Twin Strike anyway, but we could have Mask of Shadows to kill the 1/4, but that's not something we want to be doing. We're going to be stalling. Arclight Sentinel is quite annoying. So it's a little bit of an annoying start, for sure. But it's not the end of the world. It's really not the end of the world. Not actually expecting... I mean, the Bear Seal's pretty good against the mech as well. Maybe we have to get rid of this. So, I very rarely do take early hits with my artifacts. I try not to. So, but I think we're going to have to Crescent Spear and Key Beholder this. We don't really have enough cleanup here without the Cyclone Mask. I could really see an argument for this instead. So the question is, do we get the Lion or this? I think we actually get the Lion. I mean, you can buff this and kill a Key Beholder. You could also just trade in the Lion though. Gonna kill the Lion because we're gonna have 4 attack on our general. Well, not kill the Lion, I should say. I should just say stop the Lion from moving. And this is fine. It can stop with these plays if you wanted to play a 40%. We kind of have to keep this because of the Mechlizor. This is going to be one of the worst matchups I assume. I haven't versed it, but he's playing a lot of 4 health minions, which is always unfortunate. And we really wanted to draw Ghost Lightning, but we still have some chances. We need to kind of have a turn where we can play this, clear a bit, and then we can try and get out. We do have to keep the Bear Seal, which really sucks. Normally this would be pretty bad, but because he's playing Mechazor, like playing stuff like this and even this is really annoying. So yeah, I'm not expecting this to be a great matchup for us, but he does clear both of our artifacts. That's actually also quite unfortunate. We do get to untap with this though, so maybe it's okay. So he's at 40%. I mean, we get a nice clear here, and we can develop this. Maybe we don't want this now. Yeah, I don't actually like that now. That's a nice draw. That's a really nice draw. So again, I'm going to go to this square, I think. So this is always happening. I think I like it. He could airdrop Holy Immolation. But I'd rather play around like a solo Arclight Sentinel potentially. Not really sure. We'll get the Cyclone Mask because this doesn't do anything by itself. And get a hit in. Okay. Still not the greatest. Depends on his Mechazor. Honestly, we probably just prefer he actually goes for a Mechazor. It's probably non-Mechazor players that we're really worried about because we have the Bear Seal. But it is unfortunate to have to keep a Bear Seal. Okay, that's probably something we ignore. Interesting. So we probably just want to run up and go to there. Play our Heartseeker. We'll probably play our Heartseeker here. Keep our minions here. I don't really care about that. We can't really Bear Seal it, can we? No, we have to Bear Seal the Mechazor. So I think this has to be the play. I mean, we could kill it. We could kill it with damage. Does it actually do anything? Not actually. It doesn't really do anything, right? So going to this square again, that's something I've talked about. I think we actually just go face. Maybe I'll play this here, option to go to either corner. I mean, could be incorrect since now he can provoke both of these. How worried am I about an actual provoke? Not too worried. It means my general's getting out. Another Cyclone Mask draw is a bit average. We really just want to find like a mask or something. Mask is really, really good. I mean, we shouldn't be too worried about provoke. He probably just wants to play Mechazor. And he hopes we don't have the Bear Seal. I mean, when you have a Silhouette Tracer up and Bangle, it just makes it so good. It's very hard for them to catch you. If they position well, it can be a little bit trickier, but they still have to have a pretty big board to really stop you. I think I like sending the 5 damage face there. The 4/5 is really not doing anything. It's like doing a little bit. It helps, you know, with general movements and in regards to the mana tile, there's more flexibility, but it just does nothing. There's no reason to put resources into it. We need to turn the table. We can't take forever to kill him. Lightbender. So no Mechazor even. I mean, suppose we could have actually played around Lightbender. Wasn't really something I was like overly expecting. But I'm not even worried about this, to be honest. I mean, that's a pretty nice draw. This turn is very awkward though. This turn we don't really have anything we want to do. We do set up lethal. We actually have nothing we want to do. We do set up lethal. We could just go to the corner. We just went. Actually, we could have played around. What's the 6 mana 7/7 that gives everything extra? Walk extra. Could have done that. I mean, is that really something we want to play around? Probably not. That probably would be his way to win, though. So now we just kill him. Maybe this is actually a fine matchup. I don't know. Like, he's playing a slower Mechazord build, right? And you can see why the Spiral is so good. Even if the Spiral, like, we're still probably pretty heavily favored here. Like, wherever he moves, we could get to here. And then, like... okay, so we could get to, like, here. Teleport to here. And, like, get to here or something. I mean, there might be a better way to do that, but... yeah. I mean, this deck is actually very legit. That'll be 46 and 21 now. I mean, it looks worse because we actually, like, we won like 70% win rate, but over the course of the day we went down in ranks. Because sometimes you just lose in like 7 ranks randomly. But, yeah, we were consistently top 5 with this deck for most of the day, so I think it's very, very powerful. Plus, we were streaming for like 11 hours yesterday, and this is a hard deck, so it's easy to make mistakes after that. So this is a key thing I wanted to talk about. I mean, it's a little bit more obvious here, but like if this was a Phoenix Fire, it would still be the mulligan because we really want to go 3 and 3 into 1. You hear me keep talking about it, but I think it's really important to understand that if you want to play the deck. So we don't have Cyclone, but we do have a Keeper Holder. I think the Keeper Holder is just so good. It just like the draws we don't have Cyclone Mask, but we have a Keeper Holder. It just saves us a lot of the time, and it stops them ramping as hard. We'll probably get rid of the Twin Strike. I could actually see an argument for keeping it though. Might actually get rid of the Tracer. I don't often get rid of Tracer, but I think with this hand it's fine. Because we have the Gotatsu, we can kind of take a bit of a slow turn and clear with Twin Strike or something. Though there's a very real chance I just play this and do like nothing apart from Gotatsu next to him. Huh. What deck is this? Oh wow. Interesting. Well, that's pretty good for Mask of Shadows. So we're definitely playing a Gotatsu this turn. Probably get rid of the Twin Strike. Another Mask of Shadows is crazy good. I mean, okay. That was very risky for him. I mean, he's only seen a Keeper Holder, so that's another actually pretty relevant part of the deck. We are going to cycle the Gotatsu. We also cycle the Gotatsu very often. It's a very key part of the deck is that the Keeper Holder... oh, that's a pun. The Keeper Holder doesn't actually let them know... it can actually confuse them what plays they have. You know, what deck we're playing. If they play a Keeper Holder, it could be anything. Keeper Holder is a fantastic card. You can really fit into nearly everything. So I think it's a really powerful play pattern that we can do that. Now, we have a very good start. Like, if he can't clear the artifact, he's very likely just dead. Well, it depends how he positions. If he doesn't go to the corner and play something behind, then he's in a lot of trouble because we can backstab whatever he plays with this and then hit him for 14. Seems hard to lose. But because we have the Keeper Holder in the deck, like, he made that play, which is really nice. This positioning is incorrect here. He really shouldn't do that because it gives me access to backstabbing with this and then backstabbing him again. It's an important thing to know if you verse the deck. And this is going to cost him here. It's going to cost him big time. So we're hitting him for 12 here, I believe. Yep. Each Mask of Shadows backstab adds 5 damage. If he actually played there, we don't push damage unless we have a Phoenix Fire or a Thunderbomb or something. So it's just important to note that if they're 2 squares away, they can't backstab your minion. He gives me a free backstab. But it's something you kind of forget about. Good players won't really forget about that too much. Well, if they're thinking, they'll know, but it's important to remember. Playing around cards like Mask of Shadows is something people are not used to these days. Okay, so we actually have 12. We have 24 damage here. So we overkilled him by 21. Okay, that was kind of just a stomp. Like, he just gave us turn 2 Mask of Shadows. I think that game was probably going to be okay for us, but hard to say. I mean, we had it, like, if he doesn't kill the key beholder, we just, like, clear his board really efficiently. So, I think we were always going to be pretty favored against that. Alright, so I think this is pretty clear. Obviously, we want the 1 attack artifact for with our Cyclone. Saber Spine's very situational. This is obviously good as well. This is a hand I could see we playing Cyclone Mask first. It probably just depends what he plays though. If he plays a 3 health minion, we do. If he plays a 4 health or a 2 health or a 1 health, I could see an argument. I mean, this is good against the 1 and 2s. Against the 4 health, it's close. Okay, so against that, we just definitely Cyclone Mask. I think we probably keep this hand. Mistwalking is a little interesting. Could actually see getting rid of the key beholder. We'll probably just keep it though. Do we run forward? Probably don't run forward. Like, say he plays 2 minions and we don't want to give him the option to have and like say he has 1 we want to stop moving. If he plays a minion here, it's on our face, so we have to stop that one to moving or play our Celerity artifact. So this gives us the option to keep a holder this positioning while still moving a bit further forward. Now, this is potentially very, very powerful. Okay, Bond Shaper is fine. It's very bad for him. I don't think I want 2 key beholders. I think I have better things I could be doing with my mana. That I do kind of like. I think we will keep beholder. Yeah, we develop a Crescent Sphere still. So this actually, develops our board a fair bit. We're still going to kill it. We do send 3 damage into it, but mana tiles... Denying mana tiles is pretty important. Now we can only really utilize 1, maybe 2. Probably only 1, given the way he's played. It is a little awkward, like, playing the Crescent Sphere, because we're going to have... to give up our Cyclone. But the turn we want to give up our Cyclone with something like this, it actually doesn't matter. Huh. So Ghost Lightning is pretty bad here. That was decently annoying. I mean, we could just backstab him for 14 here. I think we probably just do that, honestly. We'll lose our Cyclone. Well, it's actually for 16. Because we have the Crescent Sphere. Yeah, we'll do this. Like, losing... It's really nice that we lose the Cyclone here. It does... You lose the first one you equipped. Which one do we want to lose last? Like, we can think of our equip order here. So, say in a future scenario, which one would you prefer to lose? I think we prefer to lose... Probably prefer to lose the Bangle. Actually, I think Bangles are normally just typically more powerful. This probably doesn't matter. But... So that's something you can think about. It's very minor, but could, always be relevant. I think this is just better, though. Obviously, since it's 3 mana, like, it makes sense that it will be better a lot of the time. But it's better with Cyclone. It's better with Saber Spine. Wait, what the hell? He's playing Drop Lift? Oh my god. What the hell? Why are you playing this? We got drop lifted yesterday as well. Thankfully, he didn't steal our Mask of Shadows, but wow, what the hell? That's scary. Now let's put another one. So that would be 46 and 21. And you can see the power of the deck. I mean, honestly, this has been a pretty weak showcase compared to the stream yesterday. Yesterday, we showed off some insane comebacks. These games we've all been like very in control of. But the thing is, even with this deck, when you get low, or you get weak, like you're in a weak situation, the ability to bangle and Silhouette Tracer to reset, or pull off a big board wipe with Crescent Spear is just so huge. The comeback potential is actually just insane. Because if you're versing like a deck that kind of plays fairly and they just have to move their minions or be in range to attack you, the ability to just run away and just reset the board, and they have to naturally come to you playing in the corner. Otherwise, you're just cycling them. But if they do, they become vulnerable to Mask, and they also become vulnerable to you just jumping over them. So you're really asking a lot of tricky questions of your opponent. This deck is very powerful. Again, it is vulnerable. It's easy to hate out to an extent. I think Blood Tier is actually probably the premier hate card against it, rather than the artifact destruction, because killing one artifact doesn't actually do that much a lot of the time. Droplift is obviously very good, but we have beaten like our turn 1 Mask of Shadows into 2 drop Rushers, into play Cyclone Mask, into another Rushers. We have actually beaten that, so there are definitely a lot of outs to this deck. You do have to really play on point and think about your win conditions. But again, I want to stress this. I can't stress this enough. It's not about clearing your opponent's board every turn. It's about building up your artifacts, building up your board with your artifacts, and then you find a turn where you can get a nice clean kill and have a clear board with the artifacts. Once you get that situation and they can't clear the artifacts, it's very good. Against Argion, I think I'm actually going to get rid of the Bear Seal over the Twin Strike. A lot of the things we want to Bear Seal, I mean, Bear Seal is one of the weaker cards, but a lot of things we want to Bear Seal. Is this the same guy? Huh. It makes our Cyclone Mask pretty awkward. Two masks might be a bit too greedy here. Yeah. We could Thunderbomb. I think I'm happy to take one charge on the artifact. Could just stay in the middle. Don't think I will. I mean, there's no way we Thunderbomb and kill it, I don't think. If we had a Crescent Sphere, that could be a good line. Maybe we could have done that. Because we can Cyclone, go Tatsu, kill a 3-drop. If it's 3 health, but I'm not really relying on it. I'd much rather try and set up a clear with, yeah, with like Twin Strikes and stuff. I think this is fine. Again, it's not about getting the 2 damage here, it's about just developing a Cyclone Mask. It's not even necessarily about it next turn, but you just want to get the sooner you get your artifacts out, the better. Okay. I'd love if you didn't attack here. Fantastic. Ask and you shall receive. Probably Twin Strike is better than Thunderbomb. Yeah. Actually Thunderbomb's probably better because he was playing like some of the bigger mecha cards. Could Thunderbomb. Wait, why did I go to Twin Strike? We want to play Twin Strike this turn. Whoops. I'm an idiot. Actually, I don't even think that's the best play, actually. I think we Ghost Lightning, go Tatsu. Ping this. Whoops. I kind of confused myself with my replaces then. Trying to talk and actually, sometimes you'll lose the play. Thunderbomb. Ghost Lightning. Go Tatsu. This Quite Lucky is actually just the better play anyway. Go this square that we've talked about a lot. see this square actually. Got the artifact last, so I feel better about putting 3 damage into a 1/1. I think this is fine. We just want to find a Bangle now. Bangle is really, really good. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have got rid of the Twin Strike. We should just probably just played it. I'm not actually sure. This actually might be better. I think it might have turned out better. Because now we actually developed. We have the same board state, but we cycle more. It's debatable. I think I actually really like having the Mask of Shadows equipped though. If you find a Bangle, it's fantastic. Okay, that's a bit annoying, but only like slightly. So we just really want to find a Bangle here. Get rid of the Cyclone. So we might just Thunder Bomb. Play a Heartseeker. Can't get behind his general. We will Thunder Bomb. It effectively is a 4 damage Thunder Bomb because we do 1 damage and we don't have to put. We get to put the 3 damage here. So it's like a 4 damage face spell basically, and we weren't doing anything else. I don't think I like developing the Tracer. That actually could be incorrect because we have the 2, but I don't think the Tracer really does anything. So, whereas if we find a Bangle, it suddenly can be very, very good. If he has Mechazord this turn, it's a bit unfortunate, which is very likely he does. It's only a 6/6. I mean, we can backstab him here. Bear Seal would also be amazing. Actually doesn't do anything. Okay. So we just gotta backstab him. We need to put the pressure on. Well, we're gonna Phoenix Fire this because this can't reach our general, so we can actually play this on his face now because of that. Right. Hang on. It doesn't make a difference actually. I think we... Oh no, it does. Yeah, because if we go here... Oh no, that works. What am I talking about? Bit rusty with the old Silhouette Tracer, honestly. I mean, this is okay. This is not that much pressure. We just need to find like another mask. If we had Bangle at any point, we would probably win this game very easy. Like if we could Bangle instead of Thunder Bomb, that would be really, really good. But you don't always have all your artifacts, so yeah. A Bear Seal would have been nice. A Bear Seal or a Bangle is probably really good. Even a Key Beholder would have been really good the turn where we Thunder Bombed. Still has some chances here. This is still close. He could play Scared and potentially not hit. I mean, nah, there's no way he would let us untap with a mask. Spelljammer. I mean, there's a very high chance we actually don't die next turn. And we can set up to find... Probably getting rid of the Tracer. I mean, yeah, Tracer. So we actually do want to hit this. We're going to miss walking away. We'll kill this if we have to. We want to let the... we want to let the Spelljammer live because we just want to find our Spiral Technique. Okay, that's good. Alright. So we're probably just doing one of these two. We could argue about getting a hit in first. Plays around like Healing Mystic. But if we have the celerity artifact, we can go back in. It's pretty hard for him to get away, right? Yeah. So we're just going to run away and get a Heartseeker going as well. I mean, playing a Bangle basically is a permanent Mr. Walking. Okay, we found the Spiral. Like that's why we let the Spelljam live. Plus, we didn't have a good kill, but even if we did. I mean, the thing is, like, this Mechazor is a pretty slow clock still. So maybe this matchup is favoured. I mean, he has to have heals. Can't imagine he runs that many, if any. Maybe Healing Mystic. Don't think he would run the Big Azul fella. And even if he plays as it goes to 11, we could possibly find a general hit. Like, that position could lead us to a general hit. Probably not. He probably takes that middle square. Maybe not. Rust Cooler, just no heal. Wow. Actually found a lot of artifact hate against me, like yesterday. Because there's not that many people in S, and we played it for like 11 hours and we were at the top of Twitch. So people started attacking against us, even though we're like the only artifact deck we ran into. Yeah, and this is why I'm 100% convinced on the double Spiral now. Like, being able to play into it is so good. And the fact is that when you have artifacts, you can actually deal more than 8 damage on the final turn. Like, a lot of games, dealing 8 in one turn to win the game actually isn't the best. Like, it's not enough, but because you have potential to have like a 12 points turn when you Spiral, or a 14 or something, it becomes a lot better. So that's the deck list. It's very, very strong. So what, we were like 47-21 now, if you count the whole overall record. Some of them, like, we could have even won. Like, I know a couple we could have turned into a draw at the least. The deck is very, very good. Main things, if you want to focus on, if you want to play this deck, do not value Phoenix Fires in the opening hand. We didn't actually come across that scenario, but Phoenix Fire is a pretty bad card in your opening hand, unless you really have nothing else going on. You really want, like, even Silhouette Traces is better. You really want you want this play pattern where you go 3, one of these 3s. Well, ideally if you're going first, you put a Mask of Shadows or Crescent Spear, but you want to go a 3 into a 3 and a 1. 3 and a 2 is a very rare play, and it's not something you mulligan for. Double mulligan, find your artifacts. Nearly always keep one of each artifact. Unless you have 4, you can get rid of like a Crescent Sphere or a Mask. Those are the basic play patterns. Don't try and clear the board every turn. Develop your artifacts. A lot of the time, I will play a Bangle and not even activate Celerity, not even attack, even on 3 mana, because you're just setting up. You put 3 mana value onto the board. Obviously, it's situational, but it's something you need to do. I'll often do it over like Phoenix firing a minion, so that's something to consider. You can obviously watch my stream at UnoPro TV. We played 11 hours of it yesterday. We might play some more of it in the future. I think this deck is very, very good and has a lot of potential. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.